One of my favorite Sega series has easily been Shinobi. The original Sega Master System version was a masterpiece that demanded your dedication to see its end. Then the Sega Genesis came along and gave me not one, not two, but three incredible entries that all looked, played, and sounded great. Being an early adopter of the Sega Game Gear afforded me access to some wonderful exclusive software. Among these was 1991's The GG Shinobi, which was not based on any other game in the series and entirely new just for the Game Gear. I had been so excited to play it and was already hearing some really good feedback from magazines. I had been so used to the 16-bit upgrades, however, and I questioned whether or not I'd be able to go back to an 8-bit Shinobi and find any real fun. That worry turned out to be completely baseless, because the GG Shinobi is a killer entry into the franchise and point blank one of the best 8-bit ninja games I've ever had the pleasure of owning. I hope you guys enjoy this biased as hell review of the GG Shinobi. The first thing you need to do when approaching this game is to throw everything you already know about the Shinobi games out the window. Whereas the previous entries were linear affairs that used one main character, the GG Shinobi is wide open, allows you to choose the order of the stages, and has multiple ninjas for you to play as. You begin the game as our favorite Super Shinobi Joe Musashi, as he searches for his students who have all been lost while investigating a new evil in Neo City. Your goal is to rescue your brethren, unlocking their ninja skills to add to your own. Joe is your red ninja and has your typical sword attack and screen-shaking ninjutsu. There's the blue ninja and his powerful chain blade that can be used to grab hook points to swing on, and he can use a whirlwind magic to reach areas the others can't. The yellow ninja uses a charged projectile attack and can walk on water. He can also surround himself with lightning to absorb damage. The pink ninja uses bombs, can walk on ceilings, and can light up dark areas. Finally, the green ninja throws stars, double jumps, and can self-destruct, causing massive damage to whatever is on the screen at the cost of one of your lives. You have to find and rescue these guys to use them, however, and that means defeating the stage and the boss that controls it. Each stage has areas that only a few of the ninjas can reach, which usually has an item like a life increase or extra magic attack tucked away somewhere. How you go about defeating these stages is important and directly affects the difficulty of the other stages. Pick up the perfect ninja for a stage or boss battle and things can be a lot easier. Learning the best powers for each stage is much of the fun of this one. Also to its credit is the solid level design. They are platform heavy, feature great verticality, and are broken up into sub-levels with different challenges. Once you defeat the main set of 4 stages, a 5th stage opens up that needs all your newfound powers to defeat. Each ninja will be tested by the obstacles within, and there is even a maze element to its design you must overcome. The difficulty of this one falls squarely into the trial and error category. Most of the damage will come from enemies popping out you didn't know about, or boss patterns you have yet to master. You start with a mere 4 hit points, so early deaths are to be expected, but this is a game you'll replay a few times, and that practice will help you tremendously, allowing you to defeat this one rather quickly. The final stage does offer some challenge, but if you are a Shinobi vet, this will fall before you without too much trouble. The GG Shinobi is a really good looking game. Don't let that 8-bit label scare you away. This game has more color and detail going on than most software of that generation, and there are even some killer scrolling effects here and there that really sell the presentation. Your sprite actually resembles the Revenge of Shinobi design more than anything, but enemies here are unique to this version and all look really good. They're even animated fairly well for a tiny 2 megabit cart. There is also variety in each level. There is a highway, a harbor, woodlands, and a bunch of other areas for you to navigate. These areas have nice touches like swaying leaves, rough water, rain, and large boss encounters. Despite being short and portable, there is still a good amount to see and do. This isn't just a typical scaled-back Master System release either, as you can clearly see it uses the expanded color palette of the Game Gear effectively. You won't mistake it for a 16-bit title, but what's here is worthy of praise and gets the job done. Each Shinobi game has always had some pretty memorable music, and the GG Shinobi is no exception. The master himself, Yuzo Koshiro, is back, and he again weaves his magic into one hell of a soundtrack. Every piece of audio here fits its environment and sets the stage for everything that follows. Even the title screen sounds incredible. Honestly, I can't name you too many other games that stand equal to its quality, be it Game Gear or its Master System big brother. Yuzo no Shinobi, man, and this was an 8-bit soundtrack for the ages. The strength of the GG Shinobi rests in its excellent presentation and the open-endedness of its gameplay. This isn't simply about collecting other ninja and hitting the final stage. How you choose the order of the stages affects the power-ups you can get. Miss a few life bar enhancements and you're facing the final stage with less hit points. Extra men, additional magic, and the difficulty are all affected by these choices. This adds almost an element of exploration that no Shinobi title had before it. Each enemy in this game is designed to be defeated easily by a certain weapon or power, and leaves you to discover that on your own. That means that the 5 stages you get provide far more gameplay than you'd expect. This design encourages you to try things in different order, particularly so you can use the different weapons and powers on the various stages to see if you can discover anything new. Coupled with the tried and true action platformer gameplay you know so well from Shinobi, you have a game that easily stands strong next to the 16-bit versions. And that's not hyperbole. I mean that sincerely. This game plays better than a lot of the games made years after the fact. I enjoyed this title so much I was hoping Sega would make a 16-bit version of it. Hell, I even wrote a letter to Sega of America the following year trying to make a case that this would make a great expanded Sega CD title. While Sega didn't heed my advice, they did release a sequel to this called Shinobi 2: The Silent Fury the following year, which was excellent itself. Portable games back then tended to be short, simple affairs that offered you mere snapshots of what made their console counterparts so good. However, portable games like the GG Shinobi went a step further, offering you something new you couldn't get anywhere else. Sega wrapped it up in solid graphics, a memorable soundtrack, and released it to a Game Gear crowd that simply had no idea just how good it would be. I loved this from the moment I turned the power on, and the best part was, it was portable. If you haven't had the pleasure of taking this one for a spin, I highly recommend you find a way to do so. If you're out of practice, don't worry. Each death rewards you with the knowledge of how not to fail the next try. The excellent stage design will encourage you to replay them anyway, and you'll eventually walk away a Ninja Master. I'm Sega Lord X. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.